The number of people using food banks and who have to use food banks continues to increase. And any indication that the recession is over is not being experienced by those living on a low wage. We're working twofold. First of all, we have to work to make our food banks much more welcoming to people, and so that people understand that it's not just them, that there are a lot of people who've fallen on hard times, and that there isn't a stigma using food banks.
These places are here to give help, and you have to eat. I would rather come and then starve. Don't be shy. Please don't be shy. And as I said, there's people here who genuinely and truly amazing, and they helped you. They even encourage you. And it's not just food that the Daily Bread helped me with. They helped me getting furniture and stuff like that. So my advice to you, whoever you are out there, don't be ashamed to come to the Daily Bread or whichever food bank you go to.
Doing surveys for the Daily Bread Food Bank taught me several things I didn't know before. One was that you can't judge anyone by their appearance. People using the food bank were not who I thought they would be. I thought they might be homeless or look different from other people, but really they look just like anyone else on the street. They came from all different backgrounds, were all different ages.
I was surprised at some of the assumptions that I had, because I guess I didn't expect people to have that kind of energy. I don't know, maybe I expected somebody to be sad or kind of listless, or I feel that's not very fair, hearing myself say that, but there is an assumption. But these people could have been, I could have traded places with them. I don't see, of all the people I interviewed, there's nobody that I would have picked out as, oh, that person definitely uses a food bank. She talked about how making food last longer until she had to go again to the food bank. And she was describing to me making tea, for example. She would reuse the tea bag, try to stretch it out. That gave me pause. She also talked about making a can of soup last by watering it down. So that was hard to hear.
That the cost of housing in Toronto is incredibly high, especially if you're receiving Ontario Works. People often don't receive enough to even cover their rent if you're not in subsidized housing. So I was absolutely shocked to learn how little people bring in, and how at the end of the month there's barely enough to cover anything, let alone food.
Well, one of the things that Daily Bread is advocating is a housing benefit, because what's become very clear to us is that the cost of housing is what's driving people to go hungry. So we're advocating at all levels of government and at all parties that they implement a housing benefit. We're asking the general public, those who aren't using food banks, to get on board with that campaign and make sure that their government officials understand that a housing benefit will put money in people's hands and allow them then to purchase their own food.
It stayed with me, I guess is the best way to put it. It stayed with me. These people who, for whatever reason, circumstances, why them, why not me? I found it actually pretty incomprehensible. It made me feel very sad, but I really liked that not a single person that I interacted with came across as anything but hopeful, positive. I would call them all positive.
I want to be a chef. That's my dream. I want to be a chef. And I hope one day that I could open my own restaurant or get a job, any major job because of my health, but I'm still willing to rise above my obstacles and stuff like that. So I will say a lot of people is gonna go back to school. A lot of people gonna get jobs, and then they don't have to come. But me personally, I would love to give back again to the Daily Bread. And how, you would say, if I get a job and I have an income coming in, I want to like buy stuff and bring here to give others because they help me.